Hello everyone and welcome to another match of Rivals Pro, the first, I believe, of the winners bracket round 2 matches between Phanium and ChrisX3 for the spot in round 3 and the guaranteed top 6 position. Joining me today is a GKPunk yet again, welcome.
Hello.
We are
How's
just...
it going?
It's going great for me. How about you?
Yeah, it's great. Happy to be here. Thanks for doing it.
Likewise, because this is a really great match. It's not one to be missed, so definitely nice to cover. We are right before the map pick and ban phase, 10 seconds until they will receive the pings, and Phanium will be the first to ban from this 7 map pool of the 7 most competitive maps chosen by the community.
Yeah, this is community voted purely, definitely interesting set of maps. Phanium immediately going with the Haven Island ban. Chris, again, I think his map pool is probably all the 18 roulette maps, but out of these 7, he's just good at all of them. Bans Isle of Scale against Phanium. That's a interesting ban. Whittleton Creek and Berlin still up. Probably Chris's 2 favorite maps, which is what's going to get picked by Phanium.
Phanium also a big fan of the map as well, so we are guaranteed to see it as the map number 1, so very interested to see how they will fare on that fairly short map, at least compared to the other maps of this map pool. And no instant choice by Chris just yet. Of course, Berlin is always on his mind, but 3 other choices, 2 from season 1, probably a bit more straightforward than the rest, and of course Miami with all his disguises.
Yeah, I actually like this this choice. Now again, 2 of them, Miami and Sapienza, being the 2 quote-unquote autopilot maps, and then Hokkaido, the shortest map. It's an interesting set of choices. And then there's the obvious choice. Why isn't Chris insta-picking Berlin?
Exactly, that was going to be my guess at least, that if it's anything quick, it has to be Berlin, but now that he's thought about it, it probably fell out of favor for other maps, and Miami will be chosen for an all season 2 affair, at least to start. This all 4 maps that we've seen being interacted are from season 2, the 2 bans and 2 picks, but of course now it's time for the other seasons to be chosen.
This is really interesting. So Chris is leaving a potential Berlin decider, which is something to look ahead, like in case, he doesn't get a 2-0 and he has to play the... But then Phanium bans it out, and we could get a Hokkaido decider again.
Hokkaido being...
Chris gets to decide it, that's the thing.
Yeah, I think that's a very nice thing to see, while we always associate player 1 with some sort of advantage, being the first one to interact. I think this map number 6, like the 6th and final choice from the second player, is always fascinating because he gets to play the decider, and well, good players in this tournament will usually see a third map. So Chris has chosen, and he has chosen Hokkaido for the last map. Of course, what this means now is a second set of setup. Nothing too long, of course, but the item bans will be on the agenda right now, and then we can start with Whittleton Creek. This being Phanium's map pick, Chris's item ban comes first, always the away player beginning this ritual. And of course, we will hear from both of them very soon, and once we have it in the matches channel and the shoutcast overlay, then we can switch over to the match scene and can get started in just a couple of minutes now. Gives me time to, for some reason I always forget these, but to update and put these streams into an operating position. Poor Chris will of course be hoping to have better stream performance. I think both of his map wins included an offline period, and what might have worked against Medi, a very talented but still rookie in competitions. Not sure if Phanium will give just as much of a downtime to his opponent. Whittleton Creek and Miami. I think we've seen both so far, but Hokkaido is the main treat of this tournament so far, I think. Just going to double check it on the statistics. This is the 8th match of the tournament, and 5 of the past 7 had Hokkaido picked as either the first 2 maps or the decider remainder, so very popular even from this map pool of community favorites. And a very interesting new sort of pick here. The fiber wires were banned from Whittleton Creek by ChrisX3, I believe, because he's the first to.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Chris bans fiber wires and Phanium bans strengths. So I think this is a kill condition ban from Chris, because I don't believe there's any fiber wires.
Not in Whittleton.
Or earphones or whatever. Unfortunately, you can't use Janus's little oxygen pipe as fiber wire. So,
if only.
Yeah. So that's a kill condition ban from Chris. I mean, one set of loadout live kill out of the way. Let's hope Chris is alive.
I just sent him a message. I know it's not my duty, but I think given his tournament performance, the story of his tournament so far, it's always just best to spam as many pings as possible, and he has reacted now, so
yeah.
We should be.
I was just gonna post it. Thanks, Mendo. I was just about to post it. There's a lot of posting, so I appreciate it. Thank you. One of them slips through the cracks as.
Yeah, but it's all working out so far, in just 20 seconds until we get to see the start. I'm hoping their Whittleton spin will be a bit less tedious than mine. I was playing earlier, and it had politician battle axe and electrocution plumber, so that's a nice combination. But
yeah,
here's the first spin. Please run it down for us.
Oh yeah, so it's Janus with the consumed poison as Dale Anderson, generalized as the mailman. Nolan Cassidy with the kitchen knife as any of the Cassidy bodyguard.
Now I think the greatest question is if Janus will be at the exit, or will it be a regular type of timing here with the Nolan kill at the garage or beyond the 4-minute mark, because Janus can be eliminated as soon as 2:55, I think, if no conversations are triggered. But of course it's a very straightforward start here. Phanium dropping the snail, using it on 3 NPCs. I guess most importantly, the running jogger with the long cycle of hers also needs to be caught there, and then it's for these guys for Phanium who can now set up the consume poison.
Yeah, Chris doing the exact same thing. Again, something I was talking to Gunther about, how we've consistently seen Phanium get a faster load into the map, and he's done that again here. So we'll have to see if the middle part of the match, which is the execution, if that goes well.
Slightly different way than usual, and Phanium does indeed need to get a couple bullet distractions going, because he's looking towards the kitchen and kind of turn away the second guard, and that's almost a full suspicion meter. Phanium still cannot enter the garden, but ChrisX3 also has to go kind of a long way around. No one has entered the kitchen yet. And Chris with a seeker on the garbage man, but cannot open locked. The door. So after all that, Phanium
Yeah,
catches up.
this is the this is the comfort approach is coming in towards from the side of the shed, which is where most of us are familiar with. Oh, there's that Phanium getting spotted trespassing. Slight bit of lead, but again, Whittleton Creek is just one of those things. If you make it, one after another, the targets with the timings, that could be fatal.
That was big, and also was nice for us to see because the players faced the same challenges and actually went back and forth at least once there. And what Chris could salvage with a seeker shot, and in the end going the long way around back to the house, Phanium just couldn't evade the suspicion meter. That garbage man was just too close, and now Chris with the consume poison setup, but also fairly importantly, well, not as much so now that Phanium restarted, the Helen conversation has now been triggered, which will add at least half a minute to Chris's poison timing.
Yeah, that's a bit of a delay for him. He needs to get to one of the clues downstairs in the basements. So, decided to knock out this guard here. Gonna hide him because, Janus's body dragged down here. Don't want anybody finding this guy. Should be able to take out the evidence, which is kind of not that relevant once you get out of this house. But always safe to do it, especially with the I don't know what I was gonna say. Never mind. I completely blanked out there.
It's useful to get rid of the cameras anyway, but probably since the Cassidy bodyguard disguise is going to be a non-issue because this is looking like a garage kill, can be shot or can be kept. I think it's fairly fine either way, as Chris just has to wait, and we'll be waiting to get into a non-trespassing disguise after the first kill, which is now done. And he has about a minute until Nolan is isolated in the garage.
Yeah, plenty of time for him. He can grab a kitchen knife. I think he's wrapped it already when he was waiting for that guard to turn around, which he's doing it again because cycles are not giving him a good time.
He really wants to get to the kitchen, so I do have some worries that he didn't pick it up yet.
He didn't get it.
Yeah,
he was right next to it, so I assumed he pressed the button at one point, but he didn't.
Just slip his mind, yes. And we can see Gunther dragging the body. I was going to ask a question whether it is guaranteed to end up in the basement, because I was going to say that from kills inside the house, Janus is dragged to the garage, but that is definitely not the case, and will be interesting to see. Would have been interesting to see in the grand scheme of things, but Chris will be getting ready for that second kill.
Yeah, all the delay kind of made it easier where he didn't have to wait for Nolan to not trigger that phone call, so it's not really that much of a time loss, if at all. It's making sure the kill condition, he has to disguise, he has to kill, just need the other two clues. Don't really have to worry about the jogger because he was knocked out in the beginning of the mission.
Very straightforward, two clues remaining for Chris. Of course, trespassing and Betty can cause issues in a small amount of spins for some amount of players, but it won't be for Chris or Phanium, just in general. We'll be picking up the second clue, which is the lawsuit. Of course, James, Betty, the plaintiff, and all that kind of things. And now the shovel for the cigar box, and Chris will be winning. It looks very close at the moment if you just look at the positions on the map, but of course,
yeah,
Phanium
they're
still
both
has to
getting
get
the
the
disguise. Phanium got the kill about 20-ish seconds ago, but then, yeah, trailing slightly behind with no photo finish. Whoever finishes first will be the winner. And Chris on screen will definitely be the first one to finish, and even with the delay, and so it looks like Phanium's going for a seeker here, so that's not going to be enough.
Yeah, Phanium might beat Chris's in-game time, and I would actually say that I think we might see the kill and the exit in the next 60 seconds. But regardless, it is a 1 restart to 0, and ChrisX3 with a comfortable win in Whittleton Creek to take the lead in this round 2 match.
Yeah, the spot with the trespassing from Phanium may have cost him the map there.
Yeah, it's always the hindsight, and Phanium's second try had just a bit of extra real time to think about the run, but if we suppose that this would be his strategy for the first try as well, then it is sadly Phanium with the better in-game time, but more real time spent. But previous match had a comeback from 1-0, or 0-1 rather, and Phanium is definitely not out of this match yet. So this means it is time for us to go to Miami, Chris's pick, and first Phanium's item ban. And of course we will hear from Chris as well, what did he plan. Just a quick check-up on the players' reactions after the first map. But basically just the knife being the main talking point there. Chris didn't have a crowbar in his loadout, and that would have of course helped the infiltration just a bit. And Phanium also mentioning the fact that he had difficulties getting to Janus's house as mailman, which was definitely a highlight of this match so far, just seeing how they tackled the same couple of difficulties with the 15-second delay, so we could see both of them. But Chris kept his green guns and his reward is 1 point. He's half a point away from winning, not that a tie is likely in Miami of all maps, or from any of these players. But Chris technically doesn't have to win. Phanium is the one who has to win this next map. And the fiber wire returns, but this time accompanied with the snail. And I think unlike in Whittleton Creek, where you could have banned the poison, the lethal syringe, I think it would still be a condition because there are free syringes on the map, in the medic area at least. So fiber wire to have 1 condition less, 1 life kill less, and we'll see more run-of-the-mill operations from the players because the likeliness of KO-able kills has now increased.
Yeah, welcome. Oh, welcome back. I'm welcoming myself back. Hello, everyone. I'm back.
I can also welcome you back.
Thank you.
Everything seems ready for that second map. Second of course, up to 3. And
yeah, Chris, sort of on match point. Really, any result, a draw or a win, will be enough for him to no longer play this match.
Previous memories, I only know my Miami, and that was the only Miami in the tournament so far. But for me, think about the map. I suppose the silenced firearms can also make a difference, but you can always play around it when think about these bans. So we didn't see any silenced pistol bans because it wouldn't really change a lot of the map. You can just shoot the laptop with a silenced SMG as well. And no Tranks out, and the Seeker is still playable item. So I think
nothing really out of the Maybe if there was a situation where they banned SMGs and pistols and the loud shotgun was one of the kill conditions, it would be interesting.
Yep, and we get both of the things you mentioned before. We have Sierra Knox injected poison swag driver, so still a live kill, and Robert Knox SMG waiter, so there's the firearm kill as well.
Yeah,
Now,
SMG can be used to summon Robert Knox.
and the waiter disguise is a non-issue. Driver's lounge, actually the closest start, and now we will see the swag driver grab, which is, I think this is the first spin where I feel the actual meta might be shifting just a bit, because I think the swag driver is someone you would snail with the interview lady. Those two NPCs on the stairs are in perfect position for that. But with Like of a Snail, you can do Seeker and or Automatic Device, but or perhaps the double shank. Okay, well, I just solved my own riddle, but
Yeah, happens. Looks like Chris is going to go for a trank. Both the darts used.
yeah, I was excited for a second, but ChrisX3 very nicely done. That's already this challenge of the map secured, as Phanium is not going for sugar. He's potentially... Okay, I can see a couple of things here because it doesn't have the dongle to my knowledge yet. He's isolating these event securities for at least the proxy disguise, perhaps.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like a middleman disguise, so he can have the waiter in a spot where he can just get to very easily, which is not gonna be the case for Chris. Well, actually, once they wake up, they might actually move on, because they don't really stick around if the interview or something interrupts it. Oh yeah, this also helps him place that emetic mine legally.
That was probably that was just as important, if not more important. For the lack of waiter disguise, which Phanium will also have now, because the truck driver will self-isolate, you can still go for the free disguise in the Kronstadt paddock, and as you go from the garage towards the Kronstadt side, it is not exactly en route, but fairly close. So we can maybe see Chris take that just a bit later after the first kill.
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue because you can just grab the mechanic again, or even the thwack driver just needs to make sure he doesn't get seen entering the trespassing zone. But first order of business is we were talking about non-meta stuff. This is as meta as it gets.
You can't ban the peekaboo.
Yeah.
But Chris will be successful with that kill very shortly. At least very likely so, unless Sierra stops, which she doesn't. And that's the first kill down. And I would say so far, the one difference. That's a long animation.
It's got the long animation. Something you actually have to worry about in this game mode, because kills are not instant.
Yeah, Chris
well done. Chris is very aware of the rules and has explained them really well as well, and whenever he cast it. So well done there.
Yeah, you would probably autopilot into a disguise change, expecting that the animation is long over, but Chris keeps his cool, gets the second disguise, and he is on his way to Robert. I was going to say that one major difference, probably the only difference so far in their playstyle, is the way of handling the truck driver, and I think both of them would have went for the snail if that was available. And after the ban, Chris had a better idea of using the double shank, and it's proving to be the winning move so far.
Yeah, using that bathroom pickup too, not very common. I don't really see that much. That is used much. I think at some point I forgot about it existing, but it's a very useful one because you run through that area almost every time.
It's because it's so close to zero downtime. It feels like yeah, the hidden stash with the most convenience, the tiniest detour. So it's good to remember. Works for small items, and injected poison SMG both fit in there, but obviously it's for the Robert kill now. And with the laptop shot, it's just the waiting game in situation which happens so many times. One last obstacle remaining. He's probably looking for Robert and his guard not to just pause before the door, because that has caught other people as well. I'm not sure if that was a peekaboo moment there.
I don't think. Yeah, he didn't intend for it to be that way. Just gonna wait at the bathroom. Half a spot from one of the guards. Troll at the door by Robert. Everybody loves doing that. Just turn sideways as soon as you open the door. His guard does the exact same thing.
Yeah, when one does it, usually both do it, and that's going to be a big launch there.
Oh my! That's a nice camp. Oh, body found. That's the Robert finding his guard. It's the door open in the side of his vision.
Nothing short of extraordinary, but after this sequences of events, he has everything down, and the gate is open. So Chris will keep those green guns again and exit and take the second map as well.
Really well done from Chris. Fast and efficient.
Yeah, I would say that it's 2 first tries, I believe, and very competitive times. Especially this Miami couldn't really have been done any faster. So we do have a winner, and ChrisX3 will be moving to round 3, with Phanium continuing his tournament in the lower bracket. We'll be showing the brackets really soon now.
Oh, I didn't ping the players. Nice. I was gonna update the brackets. The brackets are updated. I can ping them now, I guess. Oh, ping champion JR.
There we have it. ChrisX3 is the first player in the third round of the winners bracket. That's a top 6 spot already. Anyone's familiar with the double bracket position scoring. And Phanium will continue his run in loser bracket round 2, waiting for the winner of the very much anticipated matchup of Move versus Death Observer. Definitely lots of talent in the first quarter of the lower bracket.
Yeah, definitely. ChrisX3 not only fast inside the game, also outside the game in the brackets. Moving along.
He's
the
definitely
third round.
He's
First
enjoying.
one to beat.
He's enjoying having opponents to schedule with, and he's playing them as quick as possible. He technically doesn't have to play until the weekend now, because the first slot, the first deadline would be the end of Friday for the first 2 rounds of the winners bracket, but of course no one can be stopped from playing more, and we'll see how the brackets shake up in the next couple of days. I didn't do so well to realize that the upcoming matches tab isn't as updated, but we do have Mendo versus Meti. That is very nicely updated for tomorrow now. Joker versus Yanini is on Friday, and I guess that does leave... Well, I guess the lower bracket doesn't show up here unless they are scheduled, but a couple lower bracket matches will be played as well, and I will also reach out to Papier about our round 2 match. Brackets are definitely going along nicely.
Yeah, definitely. So far, at least the first few days has been really good. Hopefully it continues along.
Yeah, definitely hoping so, but so far so good, definitely. And great matches as well. Any takeaways, Punk, from today's match?
Well, great matches and interesting map banning phase. With Chris having the option to pick Berlin and decided not to do it. So I think that was very interesting. Going with the Miami.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting to see, and the meta didn't exactly shift, but there was the potential for that, and if the snail is still banned for more maps. Same with, of course, the Changs, the Seekers. We will see the possibility of something extraordinary, which I can't wait to see, especially in the later rounds.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mumbai is not in the map pool because a snail band on Mumbai would be interesting. Having see people do different things for Dawood.
Yeah, well, the old strategies resurface. Let's make it more open for that map.
Yeah.
But that should be it from us for today, at least. And this was the last match of the day, the only match of the day. But plenty of matches in the next couple of days. Thank you, GKPunk, once again for joining me for the co-cast as well as adminning this match.
Thank you so much for having me and maincasting.
No worries, always a great pleasure. GG's to both Chris and Phanium, and thank you everyone for watching. Until next time, see you everyone.